Conference chums, are you ready for the afternoon?
Yes.
It's now been almost 18 months since David Cameron entered the doors of Number 10, together with our dear coalition chums, to clean up Labour's mess. Getting our nation's finances back on the right track has been very challenging, and I've seen at first hand the inefficiencies and incompetence of Labour. Take fire control, John Prescott's plan to regionalise England's fire service. His vanity project spiralled out of control, wasting £500 million of taxpayers' money. Now, you won't hear about that on moneysupermarket.com when John's on. There's nothing to show for it, apart from a series of empty bunkers, all kitted out with deluxe chrome coffee machines costing £6,000 apiece. That's Labour's idea of national resilience. Come hell or high water, Labour ministers can still demand a venti, skinny cappuccino. What a waste. You can get a pack of Yorkshire tea for £5. Now, if my coalition mucker, Chris Hume, has tuned in today, Chris, that's what I call a tea party. Or take the example of Labour borrowing. £5,000 on my department's officials having a staff away day at a club. Not a working man's club, not a Pall Mall's gentleman's club, no, a different kind of gentleman's club, a club that features showgirl sensation Amber Topaz and her exotic chum, Lady Bo Peep. I've never thought of the civil servant as lost sheep, and I'm not sure why they flocked to that particular establishment. But no more. I've cancelled these plush away days. Labour ministers were at it too, with their corporate credit card, the so-called government procurement card. Labour and their staff wined and dined at the finest restaurants at your expense. Boesdale's, the Cinnamon Club, Wolsey, and at the very heart of Preserland, close to the mouth of the Humber, Mr. Chew's China Palace. Well, unlike Labour, I pay for my own chicken chow mein. We're clamping down on the abuse of government credit cards and opening their spending up to public scrutiny. Transparency will help councils save billions through better procurement, joint working and driving out waste. In comparison to Whitehall, local government has been the most efficient part of the public sector, especially Conservative councils. By dismantling Labour's interfering, intrusive laws and regulations, we can do even more for less. In a radical extension of localisms, we are giving councils a new general power of competence to champion their local communities. We've shredded Labour's red tape, and I'm now tackling the gold plating of equality rules. Did you know that if you want to take out a copy of Mills and Boon from your local library, in some places you're asked to fill in a sex survey on your private life? Well, no more. Councils don't need to undertake these expensive and intrusive questionnaires. I think a little common sense and some respect for people's privacy is required. But in the game of town hall top trumps, there's a non-job which even beats the civic sex snooper. Taxpayer-funded, full-time trade union officials. They cost the public sector, that's taxpayers, to you and me, £250 million a year. That's money taken away from frontline services. But guess what? You won't find Labour criticising them. Silence from Ed Miliband. His Labour council voted to close libraries, but keeps bankrolling union officials on the rates. And surprise, surprise, not a dicky bird from Labour's local government spokesperson, Jack Dromey. No wonder, because this former union baron knows Labour is in hock to the unions. In my book, that's not all right, Jack. If unions want to raise money for Labour, do it in your own time, not on the rates. So we're going to call time on this last closed shop. As night follows day, Labour wastes your money, puts up taxes. Council tax, they doubled it. Now we're freezing it. Not just for 1 year, but for 2 years, as we promised in opposition. And councils and Labour councils charge higher council tax. Conservative councils charge less and deliver a lot better. Had they remained in power, Labour would have hiked council tax even more on Middle England. Labour were actively planning a council tax revaluation to spy on your gardens, your patios, counting your bedrooms, your conservatories, your parking space, and even if you had a room with a view. We've cancelled Labour's expensive council tax revaluation. We stopped soaring council tax bills for millions of homes. It's not just about protecting Middle England from higher taxes. I want to stop clipboard-wielding inspectors peering into your children's bedroom or nosing about your bathroom. We will protect families' civil liberties and their privacy. It wasn't just council tax hikes that threatened. Labour would impose new bin taxes on your homes too. Yet another tax for the privilege of your town hall collecting your bin. Labour love fining for minor breaches of petty bin rules, handing out bigger fines than those given to convicted shoplifters. State officials secretly going through and filming your bins. Did you put the yoghurt pot in the wrong recycling bin? Did you put your bin out at the wrong hour? Watch out, because no one expects the town hall binquisition. Well, it's time to place Labour's bin taxes and bin fines in the dustbin of history. But there's more to do. In opposition, we also made clear promises on frequent rubbish collections. Promises first announced to you at our party conference. Well, as you know, Conservatives keep their promises. The public deserve proper, decent, frontline services for their council tax. So I can announce my department will be introducing a new fund to support weekly rubbish collections, reversing Labour's policy of bin cuts. We will support those who want to improve their existing weekly collection, and we will support switching from fortnightly to better weekly collections. We'll be helping councils work with families to go green and provide a comprehensive service every week. Labour opposed this scheme. No wonder. In government, they were drawing up plans to impose a monthly bin collection. The choice is clear. Conservatives standing up for families and frontline services, or Labour and their rubbish policies. Just as we're standing up for local families, so we will support local firms. Now, I grew up living above a greengrocer's, helping out every week. I know that business rates are the third biggest outgoing for local shops after rent and staff. So we've doubled small business relief for 2 years, and we're making it easier to claim. We've scuppered Labour's ports tax, and we're giving councils new powers to cut business rates to support community pubs, post offices and local shops. We understand that local high streets are the lifeblood of the local economy and the centre of what we call home. So we're changing Tony Blair's reckless all-you-can-drink licensing laws. We're giving councils more powers to tackle the antisocial behaviour that blights so many of our towns' centres late at night. And to help those affected by the disgraceful riots get back into business, we've created a £20 million High Street support scheme. Over their 13 years, Labour failed business. Their regional development agencies were too distant from local firms and squandered their budgets. In their place, our new local enterprise partnerships now have councils working hard, hand in hand with local business. We will allow councils to keep the money from the business rates, giving them a direct stake in local enterprises, helping them to help business grow. But it's also a radical devolution of local government finance, meaning councils raise money they spend rather than being so dependent on Whitehall handouts. And in targeted growth areas, we will have over 20 new enterprise zones. They will boost regeneration through simplified planning, tax breaks and superfast broadband. We can help the economy by building more homes. Under Labour, house buildings hit the lowest rates since the 1920s. For those who aren't lucky enough to have the bank of mum and dad, the age in which first-time buyers is now 37 years old. So we're selling off government disused land and empty offices to use it to build 100,000 more homes. And we'll bring back Margaret Thatcher's right to buy.